Ancient civilizations. The place is Nevsehir Cappadocia. The states have carried out a nuclear catastrophe that will bring about the end of humanity. This incident, which has brought life almost to a standstill, has led to a great loss. He opened it. There are only 11 people left out of billions of people on Earth. These 11 people managed to survive from the radiation on the planet. They took refuge in the only place that was not affected, Cappadocia, at work when I was just a child. I got to know Cappadocia for the first time with this story I told about. And because of the mysteries that have been talked about, it has been the most visited since then. This was one of the places I wanted to visit. Brother Peace, what an interesting story. He told me about 2023 Photoromus, too, but who would have said?
Cappadocia actually contains much more than in the story.
So, now hold on tight. In a little while I will tell you such things that they will be forced to believe in whenever you're ready. Cappadocia 60 million years ago, Ursias, Hassan Mountain and Golu Mountain. Millions of soft layers formed by the lava and ashes it spewed. It is this that occurs during the year when it is eroded by rain and wind. There are such mysterious things told about the fairy tale place that people who live in the depths want to stay away from the earth. Are we sure that we literally know the real underlying causes? Or is it a much different surface that forces them to hide underground?
Were they facing a threat? In this video, we are going with you to the mysterious underground cities that were built thousands of years ago, meters underground.
We travel, believed to extend from Turkey to Scotland, from tunnels to supernatural beings, where he lived thousands of years ago. From the thought of nuclear wars, a mysterious abandoned for interesting reasons.
You will hear interesting things from each other all the way to the village Derinkuyu underground city.
Thousands of people stretching up to 85 meters below the ground at the same time. You are looking at a place where they live with their animals and each other right now. The secret of this underground city, consisting of connected kilometers of passages, is still unknown. Although of course we are stretching for many kilometers. Although we can say, how far do the passages and tunnels go? Where Nevsehir came back to Earth from has not yet been discovered, or who knows if I should have said from Turkey or where, maybe Sitcha. We are talking about the underground tunnels that start from here. It must be ending in a country thousands of kilometers away. It sounds impossible. Although it sounds like researchers, this is the truth of what you've heard. They think it might be. I will touch on this topic in a little while. Anatolia's. Who are these mysterious cities many meters below the ground in the heart? How and if you know why they might have built cities, I said. Because right now, the deep well I am in is located in dozens of underground ones located in this geography. It's just one of your cities. In addition, experts have not yet been found. They are sure that there are many more underground cities that have happened. Derinkuyu underground.
The city is the largest underground city that has been discovered in the world as of now.
It is interesting that in the Derinkuyu region of Cappadocia 1830s, there was not even any settlement above ground as much, so in those years. This region, which is thought to be a lonely land, was home to a huge city where tens of thousands of people lived about 3,000 years ago. But the place, a city located in the depths, the underground city that later disappeared. The entrance to this place where people live is also closed with soil and forgotten, until hundreds of years passed over it, and in the year 1963, until his arrival. How is it under your feet in the 1960s? A resident of Derinkuyu district who does not realize that there is a mystery lies with an amazing situation when renovating in the basement of the peasant's house. He encounters, while working on the wall in your basement, the wall suddenly,
when it was destroyed, the man who was faced with the passage that opened to a whole city after. Just imagine it like this. A whole 1,000-year-old underground in the room of your house.
You discover a passage that opens in your city. Even people who think. It gives you goosebumps. Of course, in 1963, the discovery. Within a few years after it was done, when the works were partially completed, 1,000. In 967, the underground city of Derinkuyu was opened for a visit. To feel strange the moment you enter the underground city. You're starting. It's like this is a place that doesn't belong in this world. When you enter, your connection with the outside world is completely cut off. Together with your phones, you can pass through tunnels deep in the ground and various. You go up to the rooms, a little difficult zones for people with claustrophobia. This place that is happening is divided into different sections from each other. There is almost none in it. There are no supply depots, kitchens, halls, living and beds in the city. Rooms, church, school, ventilation chimneys, meeting rooms, barn, water. There are wells, even a cemetery. There is even a tunnel leading to the cemetery, some feathers. I wouldn't be lying if I said creepy. Through a long, dark and narrow tunnel. You have to go through thousands of years ago. Having built such a city underground, today's researchers. He continues to amaze. The diameter is 2.5 meters. Their thickness is 50. Tunnels in which cylindrical-shaped stones, which are centimeters, are used as doors. And the rooms are full of traps against enemies from outside. Some archaeologists have found that this city, where 50,000 people lived at the time, was built on. He believes that it was founded by the Hittites in the 5th century, according to some people. The foundation of the city also coincides with the Phrygians at a later date, but because traces of the Byzantines were found in some parts of the city, the Byzantines. Another overriding thought that is used by you will understand. The mystery of when and by whom the Derinkuyu underground city was built. He's protecting. This is the part that is open to the public when you visit Derinkuyu today. It's just a tiny part of the underground city, now hold on tight. So big. We are talking about a city that we do not have the opportunity to travel all over. The place is actually a place the size of 1,100 football stadiums, complete. The only part of this city that can be explored is the one that has been explored. The section is allowed to be visited. Because even in this form, a person, it happens that he will disappear. Derinkuyu is ancient. just like the Egyptian pyramids. One of the mega structures of the world is the 20,000 who worked on the construction of the pyramids. Those who built Derinkuyu when the worker served under the pharaoh's order. What was its purpose? Numerous archaeologists, historians have been talking about this place for many years.
According to some archaeologists who are conducting extensive research, the deep well was used by Christians who wanted to hide from Roman soldiers. But before,
as I mentioned, the history of the city actually dates back much earlier, and in it, the school believes that a life similar to a place of worship is being maintained there. There are many large areas that constitute evidence, so this is It was a place far beyond the hiding place. These people are tens of meters above the ground. They lived under it. And if you have noticed, with the underground city of Derinkuyu, how similar were the nests that ants built underground?
Isn't it so? If we call the people of this city ant people, it's not very.
We wouldn't be exaggerating. Now let's get to the more mysterious part of the job. The date we are talking about is 3,000. Maybe 4,000 years of history or even 10,000. We can also come across some researchers who talk about the year far. What has happened on my world in the past? We have limited information. Some interesting information that has come by ear so far. Although its reality is debatable, it does not surprise people. For example, Cappadocia. According to a knowledge expressed by the people thousands of years ago, there is a legend that has survived to this day. Since we've been told in the past, people living in the Cappadocia region are spiritual beings from the heavens. They have witnessed these beings as well as the demons in the Cappadocia region. It was also said that they were haunting the underground cities, 19,000. In 182, the famous Swiss investigative writer Erich von Däniken, when Cappadocia comes to the region to investigate the mystery of underground cities. With the theses he put forward after the researches he had done, he was quiet. He drew attention. According to those who built the Derinkuyu underground city, it is estimated that, not to protect from the dangers on the surface, but from the sky. They did it against threats. Once you visit Cappadocia and talk to the local people, you will find interesting events that you cannot hear anywhere else. They will tell you about the past, enter the underground cities and come back again. With the presence of different dimensions in underground cities from those who cannot return. I have listened to various incidents up to many people who have met. Of course, the described. Allah knows the truth of those who take refuge in underground cities, a person from heaven. What has been put forward regarding this defense they have carried out against the danger. When I heard the allegations, there were 2,000 that Barry's Manco had written many years ago. From radiation in the nuclear war that took place in his photo Roman 23. The story of 11 people who took refuge in Cappadocia to avoid being affected makes me. He pushed for a completely different research.